Hi, well, my name is Joel Hernandez Jr. I grew up in a town called Little Village, Londo, you know, 26th Street, right there in 31st Street. I grew up there, right in front of the Petrosky Park. And it's pretty interesting living over there because there was a lot of violence over there growing up for me, which is not good for a kid like me. Growing up as a kid there, you wanted to go out and play, but living over there you couldn't because you had to be worried about, the violence and all that stuff. So it was pretty tough for me to have fun at the same time, not getting shot. It's crazy to point it out, but that was the lifestyle back in the day when I was a kid. So that made me the person that I am now, made me more secure of myself because I didn't get out of the house most of the time when I was over there. And I lived over there for, I want to say, 14 to 15 years. So I was pretty big time over there. During high school, I had to leave because it was a pretty tough beginning for me because, I was getting into my teenage years and I wanted to go out more often. And it didn't, end up good, so I had to leave the town. That's when my parents decided, to go to Texas. So we moved to Texas, and I hated it. I hated the heat. I hated that we had to learn a whole new concept because Texas, the laws and all that stuff, we had to learn everything. So it was like I didn't like the fact that we had to learn all that stuff since I knew all the things from Chicago already. And I'm a born citizen from Chicago too, so I didn't want to leave Chicago. So every time I kept telling my dad, I want to go back, I'm going to go back, and, he told me, it's like, no, we're not going back. So I kept bothering him every day until, we moved back. Now, when we moved back, he decided he didn't want to go back to the neighborhood that we grew up in, 31st Street over there. And we moved to a town called Justice. Now this town is, I would say it's a little bit of a suburban place where it's not that much violence. Well, I hardly seen violence there compared to, 31st Street, where I actually seen people get shot at, which is crazy. So I moved to this place. Hardly know anybody. I didn't know anybody, just my cousin. And I pretty much grew up from there in 4 years. I learned a lot of stuff, and I learned how to go out now since I didn't go out over there in 26th Street. Over here, I went out more often and learned how to be more to myself. Didn't ask my parents for stuff that much anymore, and I took steps. It's just pretty much what I am now. So now I'm here, and this is the place where I live at now. I moved to Kedzie now. It's pretty far from Justice. I would say like half an hour away, but it's a long distance for me. Well, in my spare time, I like to do a lot of things. I want to say, I like to be a photographer, which I'm not. I just like to take photographs, and like people like them a lot. Sometimes, I like it. Like I see the image in my head, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this, so let's try it. I take the picture, and once I take the picture, I see how I can, edit it and fix it and then make it look a little bit to my style, to my liking, and then bam, it's there and it looks pretty good. And, the first camera that I started with was a Kodak. So I have it actually, I have it right here. It's right here. This is the camera that I use, a Kodak EasyShare C813. Alright, so this camera was the first one that I used with all the pictures that I have. I don't know if you guys have me on Facebook, but one of the pictures that I have there is the wall is red, and I have the Superman shirt and then a gray hoodie. That picture was taken with actually with this camera. If you guys don't believe me, then don't believe me, but Yeah, that picture was with this camera. And this camera cost me $79. So I can tell you right now, like, you can use any camera you want with photography if you know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things to consider, to take consider of a picture, because there's lighting and there's the style. Like they say, you want to take a picture in a forest, you can use the forest and make it your way. So there's different ways you can use your camera, and it doesn't have to be a professional camera. It's just the way you look at it and the image, and then you take the picture and then you just make it your style. You know what I'm saying? And then the second camera that I went to was this one, a Sony CyberShot. Now this one was a bit pricey. I would say like almost 200, but not $200. So it was almost 200. Now what's special about this camera is that you can take panoramic pictures. What panoramic pictures are is, you see a landscape, okay? So you want to take a picture of a whole landscape. Like let's say a landscape of a huge mountain, and you want to take a picture of the whole thing. I can do that with this camera. And just start with one side and then go to the other side, and grab the whole thing, which is pretty awesome. It's one of the features that I like about this camera. And also, it takes pretty good pictures. The lens that it has is Carl Zeiss or something. I don't know how you say the last part, but it's Carl lenses, and those lenses are are actually pretty darn good. So that's why the quality of this pictures are pretty good, and I enjoy using this camera as well. Now the other camera that I have is SLR, D3100, and this camera pretty much takes all the pictures that I want, and it's pretty good. And you guys should consider getting an SLR if you are into photography a lot. Get an SLR. It'll build up your pictures with better quality and stuff. Other things that I like to do is play guitar. I'm a big gamer too, so if you guys have Xbox or PS3, you guys should add me. My gamer tag is Joel Space Sonic, and my PSN network is Joel_Sonic. So pretty much the same, but it doesn't have the underscore on the Xbox, and then the Xbox has the space between it. So that's pretty much it. And I like computers as well, and I like to use the computer a lot, and so I have a lot of hobbies. I can't consider to grab one and get situated with one, because I get distracted a lot and then start doing different things, and it's just randomly stuff. And I also love playing basketball as well. I'm a big basketball player. I like to play basketball in the summer. Sometimes in the winter when guys are, let's go play basketball, and we shovel the snow, and it gets a little crazy because it's cold outside, so we tend to do that a lot too, so yeah. About that, let's see. Well, I can tell you that she knows. She knows that how I feel about her, but I don't know. I don't know what she's waiting for. I guess she's scared. I don't know. But I guess you could say that I am single, and I am currently looking, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I've been a single man for quite a bit, and it's been interesting, being independent, doing all these things by myself. And it's pretty obvious that I have a lot of spare time as well to do other things. So I mean, it works out pretty well sometimes. I can go out and party a lot more, and I don't know. But yeah, but I am single. Well, I try to become, a good person at times, but the kind of person that I am is, I don't know, you can say I'm a really, really friendly person. I like to be a good person because that's how I grew up. I grew up with a loving mother and a loving grandmother that taught me how to be the person that I am today, which is, to be good, to respect your elders, to, not fear anything, just be a good person. Always, try to help people that are in need, and don't feel bad if people talk bad about you. You just be yourself, and never let go of, the good things that people tell you. If they're bad things, you can just take it and let it go, but don't get aggravated, and don't let it out on them. Just think of it as, they're probably jealous or something. And just, smile, and people will smile back, and you'll feel better, which is what I do. I tend to, be happy with my life, and I enjoy it. As long as, I try to make everybody else happy, and I'll consider myself, a happy man when I can. The friendship with the friends that I have right now, it's pretty, you can say, well, because I'm a pretty busy guy. Sometimes, I tend to do a lot of things, and most of them are pretty busy as well, so, yeah. What I tend to do in the future, I don't know. Right now I'm planning to get a new car, since I wanted a new car back in the day. I wanted to get a new car, but it couldn't happen. So right now I'm riding on a decent car, not that bad, but still. So right now I'm planning to get a car, and once I have the money, I'm gonna get it and be a happy camper. Um, Possibly in the near future too, I would like to get married, maybe. Have a wife, have a house, and make my mother happy. Uh, a career I want to get in will be, I don't know. I mean, I like to do a lot of things, so my hobbies. If I get a job at doing like something that involves my hobbies, and I will love to, get into that. So anything with music, photography, or computers and gaming, if I get into one of those subjects there, I'll be really happy as well. So let's hope the future gets me to something I want to do, and I enjoy my life after being, in this horrible place that I decided, growing up to, and make myself happy in the end.